Hello everyone, my name is Robert Ris. I'm a Dutch international master, and in this DVD I'm going to have a look at the Semi-Slav with, on the fifth move, the move bishop g5 for white. So it all starts with the Slav variation: d4, d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, and we're getting the Semi-Slav after the move e6. So this is a well-known position, and of course it's possible for white to play the move e3, which is usually leading to the Miran system. There will be another DVD about that move from my hand, but in this particular DVD I would like to have a look at the consequences of the move bishop to g5, which of course is the most active move. And just before playing your pawn to e3, you put your bishop out of the pawn chain, and the bishop is very actively placed here, of course, pinning the knight, so white has clear intentions. So of course a lot of possibilities here, and before going to introduce all of them, I would like to make sure to you that in this DVD we are not going to have a look at all the theoretical lines. Of course these lines are going hand in hand with a lot of theory, but I think it's even more important to understand the tactical ideas which are becoming apparent in this type of positions. And that's why I think it's really important to study these tactics carefully before studying particular lines, because later on you can still decide which line you like to play and which not, and how to avoid these lines. But first it's good to make sure what kind of positions you would like to get and which kind of tactics you are suiting you well. So this DVD will be divided in four different parts, and in the first part I'm going to have a look at actually the most sharp continuation. The sharpest line is the move d takes c4, which is leading to the so-called Botvinnik variation, and a lot of sharp play is going to ensue. So for example, after the move e4, white is about to regain his pawn on c4. Black doesn't want to allow that for free, as otherwise white gets very nice free development and a nice space advantage in the center. So after the move b5, white plays the move e5, pinning the knight, attacking the knight. So the only move is the move h6, and now after the move bishop h4, black is forced to play g5, which is leading to a very sharp position after these moves, taking on g5, and white will regain this piece. More about that in detail later on in the first part of the DVD. In the second and third part of the DVD I'm going to have a look at the particular move h6, which is a very interesting option. With his last move h6, black is basically asking what you're going to do with your bishop before making a decision whether to take on c4 or not. White has the option. In the second part of the DVD I'm going to have a look at the Moscow variation, which appears on the board after taking on f6, queen takes f6, and very instructive position, as white has created an imbalance by giving up his bishop for the knight, and that's a very committal decision, as you don't really know whether which piece will be preferable in the ensuing positions. Just white has a small space advantage, black has the pair of bishops, so this is always a very interactive struggle. It's not clear which side has the upper hand in this particular case, but it can easily turn either way. So we are going to have a look at the consequences of the Moscow variation in the second part. In the third part we are going to have a look at the move bishop to h4, which is a much sharper move, as you temporarily regain the pin on the board, so that knight is still unable to move. And normally the point of the inclusion of the move h6 is that after d takes c4, white of course will play the move e4, trying to regain the pawn on c4. And indeed, if you play the move b5, we are transposing to the Botvinnik line after the move g5 again. So this is what black is usually trying to avoid with the move order of h6, bishop h4, d takes c4 and e4 now. The point is black will play first now the move g5, attacking the bishop, so forcing the bishop to go to g3, and now black will hang on to his extra pawn, and that's the key of black's strategy, as if white will regain that pawn so easily on c4, black is left with too many weaknesses. And this is a very interesting struggle with all 4 minor pieces still on the board. We have a very challenging pawn structure. White has a lot of pawn breaks at his disposal, still a lot to play for, and we are going to have a look at this line in greater detail in the third part. Let's return to the position after the move 5, bishop g5, as there is still another critical move. Actually, it's the move bishop the move knight b to d7, just protecting the knight on f6, so the queen can eventually go to a5. And this is a very typical setup for black. He has refrained from protecting the knight with the move bishop e7, as in many lines the bishop likes to go to b4. And with this setup of the move knight b to d7, black is aiming for a very solid solution against the move bishop g5, and this is the so-called Cambridge Springs variation, which we're going to have a look at in greater detail in part 4. So this is how the DVD is divided in 3 parts, and as I said, we are not going to see too many theoretical novelties or theoretical lines worked out till move 30. No, it's just my idea to show you a lot of tactical ideas, and in the meantime, thanks to the use of the quiz and answer format, it's my idea not only to point out always the right solution, always trying to explain the mistakes, the typical ideas in general, the positional futures of the position too. But after all, chess is a very tactical game. It's often decided by tactics. So I think it's very useful for you studying this DVD before trying to include one of these lines in your own repertoire. So thanks for watching this introduction, and let's move on to the introduction to part 1. Thank you.